It's been said that life's greatest joys are inextricably linked to life's deepest sorrows. And I find that to be uncomfortably true in my life. Because it's one thing to have the joy of seeing the Grand Canyon for the first time, the joy of graduating after years of late night papers and 700 question exams, the joy of a particular birthday or vacation or just a really good meal. And I know when I point to some of my life's deepest sorrows, the loss of a childhood dog, a best friend, loss of 2 grandparents, loss of dear, dear friends, I look to the flip side of those guttural cries, those weepings in my bed, and I recognize the joy overflowing in all of those bonds, all of those relationships that are no longer. And I don't know if it's the same for every single person on this planet. If the same thing is true, that life's greatest joys, life's greatest sorrows come through this outlet of relationship. But I know for me, it feels blaringly true, uncomfortably true, because when these relational fixtures turn into fissures, the gaping hole, the shattered glass, the darkness has never felt more palpable. I remember starting Your Other Brothers in the fall of 2015, and the anticipation that went into designing the website and blogging our first posts, having a game plan on social media, and setting a launch date. And I remember hitting the button, making the site go live for the very first time, and seeing it in all its glory, all of its splendor. And that was a joy unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. I had written a book 2 years prior, and that certainly evoked massive levels of joy, but co-founding this website, a website that wasn't even really a community per se at the start, creating something in collaboration with other people, other brothers, dear friends. It was a joy unparalleled. Nothing in my life before, and I would say nothing in my life since, has evoked that same sense of joy, this creation of something from nothing, creating something so very meaningful. Something so meaningful then, and now nearly a decade later, to so many other people. Men, women, believers around the world, young and old, single and married. For years, it felt like my cup truly did overflow. And then, as happens with cups and drinks, the vessel went bare. I can't deny that the joy is still there. God was absolutely in our community's creation 8 years ago, and He's here with us now. I believe that more than ever. And yet I hold the tension, this tenuous relationship between joy and sorrow. I hold it in my hand. There's some days where I absolutely feel the joy. I feel it in the hurting laughter, the wince in my cheeks as I smile so widely. I feel it in the guttural heaves, the staring off into the distance and remembering something like the good old days, or memories of people, precious people that no longer walk alongside me. Where did they go? Will they come back? It feels incomplete. The story doesn't feel finished yet. It's hard to stay joyful when the story doesn't feel correct. A longing for resolution that just won't come. It seems that our other brother, Henry Nouwen, had a lot to say about all of our values. His words of joy and sorrow seem to hit me in that supernatural way that certain people's words do. I've certainly felt it time and again with Nouwen and some of my other favorite authors, and I pray these words land, resonate, find a tender home with you. Nouwen says this: when we are crushed like grapes, we cannot think of the wine we will become. The sorrow overwhelms us, makes us throw ourselves on the ground, face down, and sweat drops of blood. Then we need to be reminded that our cup of sorrow is also our cup of joy, and that one day we will be able to taste the joy as fully as we now taste the sorrow. And so, fellow sparrows, in the overflow and in the empty, in the crushing, may we ever strive to follow our Savior's lead, just as Jesus took the cup from his Father, endured the rejection and heartache and all manners of suffering for the joy his Father set before him. May we too take our own cups with courage and follow this road for as many days and pages as we are given. May we be a brotherhood, a people, a family, discovering centuries' hidden treasure in a field, gladly selling and sacrificing everything to buy this field, a field of rolling vineyards and the coming kingdom. Come, let us gather around the table in this field. Let us each be an image-bearing reminder to one another. Let us taste and see that the Lord, He is good, now and forevermore.